Ceann Comhairle, I welcome the opportunity to present Budget 2023 to this House. When we gathered in this chamber for Budget 2022, we were emerging from the very worst of the COVID-19 pandemic. We now face a further economic challenge. If you are an older person, you're having to spend more of your pension on heating your home. If you're looking after your family, you are now facing higher grocery bills. And if you're running a small business, you are trying to cope with the increases in the cost of energy. This is why Budget 2023, presented by Minister McGrath and I today, is and must be a cost of living budget, focused on helping individuals, families and businesses deal with rising prices. As we have seen all too clearly over the past few years, with Brexit, with COVID and now with the war in Ukraine, unforeseen risks and challenges are becoming more frequent in their occurrence and more severe in their impact. As one of the most open economies in the world, we benefit when things are going well internationally, but when they reverse, we are also one of the most exposed. And as such, it is imperative that we are prepared for these shocks. Our recovery from the pandemic is testimony to the value of that preparation. We faced the pandemic with our finances in good shape, and this ensured we could both respond and recover in its aftermath. Therefore, Budget 2023 helps with the challenges of today, but will also ensure that we have sufficient reserves for what the future may bring. And we must also be aware of the danger of making inflation worse by decisions that we could take. The onset of the war in Ukraine has sent shockwaves throughout the global economy, and this is most evident in energy and commodity markets, where prices surged at the onset of the war and have remained high. Energy price inflation intensified over the summer as concerns grew regarding a complete shutdown of Russian gas supplies. The wholesale price of natural gas is now around 8 times its average level in the years preceding the war. The inflationary pressures from energy have been further compounded by the imbalance between demand and supply that emerged as economies reopened. Consumers released substantial pent-up demand as restrictions were eased, while supply chain bottlenecks prevented firms from keeping up with that demand. So, as a result of these factors, headline inflation in Ireland, similar to many other economies, is now running at highs not seen in many decades. My department now updates its forecasts to headline inflation of 8.5% for 2022 and just over 7% for 2023. Non-energy, or so-called core inflation, is also experiencing high levels of growth, suggesting effects from energy and commodities to other sectors, such as food, consumer goods and services. So I am now revising our forecasts for core inflation to 5.25% for this year and just over 4.5% for next. And these developments reflect the increasingly broad-based nature of our